If you're ambitious but lazy, that combination makes perfect sense. Once you understand Guoshin, I uncovered this framework through Eastern philosophy, specifically two powerful concepts. Guo, the principle of disciplined action. Shin, the art of conscious observation. Together they explain why some people maintain routines effortlessly. Japanese warriors and Zen masters didn't succeed through brute force. They lived by these laws, because Guo and Shin align with human nature, not against it. Today you'll uncover 4 deep insights that make consistency automatic. Starting with the most important, Part 1, the intelligence of resistance. Your laziness is not a flaw, it's intelligence in disguise. The Tao Te Ching says, "The wise man does not attempt anything very big and thus achieves greatness." Eastern philosophy's most revered text is telling you, forcing yourself is the problem, not the solution. That feeling of inner resistance? Taoist masters call it ziran, natural spontaneity. Your mind resisting tasks is not weakness, it's wisdom. It's your biology trying to stop you from pouring energy into misaligned action. Let me show you what this looks like. A Japanese sword apprentice spent months struggling with morning training. Perfect form, dawn routines, shattered blades. One night his master found him alone, working with flow, his movement effortless. The master watched silently, then asked, "Why force the morning?" That apprentice switched to night forging. He became a legend, known as the Moon Forger, because he followed rhythm, not ritual. He didn't fight his nature, he honored it. This is what Zhuangzi understood. When offered the role of prime minister, the highest seat in ancient China, he declined. He said he'd rather drag his tail in the mud like a turtle. They called him unmotivated. Now he's immortal. They are forgotten. Japanese calligraphy teaches, the brush moves when it wants to move. Force it and you destroy the character. Hesitate and the moment vanishes. This is the Guoshin connection. Guo provides readiness, the disciplined hand. Shin provides timing, the intuitive strike. One without the other is worthless. The I Ching calls this moment Shi, perfect timing. You can have flawless technique and unwavering grit, but act too early or too late, and you fail. Resistance might be your internal radar detecting bad timing, not avoidance of hard work. Take Han Xin, China's greatest general. He waited 3 years doing seemingly nothing. People saw laziness, but he was reading the moment when it came. He conquered China in 18 months, the fastest campaign in its history. His pause was precision. His silence was strategy. You felt it too, that subtle tension when something feels off. But modern productivity screams, push through. Lao Tzu would tell you that resistance is your tether to the Tao, natural order itself. This is why forced discipline breaks, why rigid routines collapse, why every trendy productivity system leaves you burned out. You're not broken, you're violating natural law. But recognition alone is useless. You must know what to do with it. That leads us to Part 2. Part 2, the minimal effective dose. The laziest people often accomplish the most, and because they've mastered precision over motion. Guo teaches 1 perfect sword stroke beats 1,000 wild swings. But here's what people forget. That perfect stroke takes 1,000 rehearsals. The effort is still there, the discipline is still there, but it's laser-focused. Most people spread themselves across 100 to-do lists, 15 daily habits, and endless color-coded productivity apps. They look busy, they accomplish nothing. Masters look lazy because they do one thing over and over. But that's the paradox. Effortless achievement requires relentless effort, just intelligently applied. A beginner archer fires 300 arrows, experimenting, exhausting themselves. The master shoots 50 arrows, same form, same aim, and each one strikes true. Who worked harder? The beginner. Who won? The master. This is the secret. Work less broadly, work deeper, work cleaner. Parkinson's law proves it mathematically. Work expands to fill the time available. Give yourself 2 hours and you'll waste 90 minutes. Give yourself 10 focused minutes. You'll do more than most people in 2 distracted hours. This isn't laziness. It's surgical discipline. The Hagakure, the samurai code, says, if one uses discrimination, he will fall behind. One needs neither loyalty nor devotion, but simply to become one with the intent. That intent is what turns minimal effort into maximum impact. The West doesn't get this. They call mastery boring. They're wrong. When Morihei Ueshiba, founder of Aikido, practiced the same move 10,000 times, they mocked him. Now, his art is immortal. They are forgotten. The Chinese say, Ye Jing Jing. One thread runs through all. Find your thread. Pull it. Writers, 500 words daily. Fighters, one combination. Entrepreneurs, one sales call. It's not the action, it's the ritual, it's the repetition, small, aligned, daily. That's when compound interest becomes a spiritual force. 1% improvement each day sounds weak. That's why it works. Your ego wants 50% gains overnight. That's why you fail. 1% a day for a year equals 37x improvement, not 37%, 37 times. This is the path of the master. Growth so small no one notices until it's unstoppable. Nature knew this before math did. Bamboo spends 4 years growing roots, nothing visible. Then in 6 weeks, 90 feet of growth. You weren't wasting time. You were building infrastructure. Your daily practice is building unseen roots. And when it clicks, they'll call you an overnight success, not knowing you've been watering in silence for years. But even perfect habits fail in the wrong setting. That brings us to part 3. Part 3, environmental architecture. Willpower is finite. Environment is infinite. Most people misunderstand environment. They think it's about their desk setup. It's not. Your environment is every signal you allow into your consciousness. It's the people you speak with, the content you consume, the thoughts you repeat. It's the invisible water you swim in daily. And most people, they're drowning in poison. Shin teaches, awareness of patterns lets you build around them, not through them. Scroll every morning, binge random content every night. Fill every quiet moment with digital noise. Congratulations, you've become 99% of the population. They wake up, grab their phones, and inhale whatever the algorithm serves. Then wonder why life feels hollow. You can't say you're different if you do the same things. The 1% designs their intake like a monk selects incense. They trade TikTok for stoic texts. Reality shows for biographies of legends. They don't resist garbage content. They make it inaccessible. This isn't monk mode. It's mental nutrition. What you consume, you become. The Moon Forger didn't just change his schedule. He left the crowd. He escaped noise. He forged sanctuary. That's environmental architecture, not just moving your phone, reconstructing the world around you to amplify your essence. That phone by your bed? It's not just bad for sleep. It's training your brain to crave stimulation the moment you wake up. Motivational videos? If they don't spark real action, they're empty dopamine. The friends you vent with? They're anchoring you in place. Understand friction. It works both ways. Every time you search for your shoes, that's resistance to fitness. Every time junk food is visible, that's support for failure. Masters don't count on willpower. They build systems where the right choice is the only easy choice. Lao Tzu said, The perfect man uses his mind like a mirror, welcoming nothing, resisting nothing, responding without storing. But how can your mind reflect truth when it's filled with distraction and noise? You can't become focused in a chaotic setting, and you can't fix this with better habits alone. Most people fail here. They try to plant new habits in poisoned soil, they study philosophy, they watch productivity hacks. But they're still surrounded by doubters, still swimming in junk content, still living in spaces designed for an older, weaker version of themselves. The ancient Chinese understood this. Feng Shui, originally Funwei, wind and water, not about crystals or couches, about designing surroundings to shape destiny. Scholars faced east to greet morning clarity. Warriors lived in sparse rooms with only what served the mission. Every detail mattered because every detail shaped the mind. Most people treat environment as optional. It isn't. It's foundational. The environment always wins. But even all this collapses without one final piece. The part that fuses Guo and Shin into a living system. Part 4. The integration protocol. You've learned the laws, but knowledge without integration is just trivia. This is what separates transformation from information. Here's how you integrate. Every morning, 2-minute awareness check. Ask, what's my energy telling me today? Where is my natural focus pulling me? This isn't meditation, it's recon. You're gathering intel about your internal terrain, so you act with it, not against it. Every night, practice review, not productivity. Practice ask. Did I honor my rhythm or fight it? Did my environment support me nor sabotage me? Did I work with my patterns on or against them? This feedback loop is based on truth, not feelings. Results don't lie. Feelings do. You're not copying someone's morning routine. You're building your own through trial, error, and refinement. The samurai called it Kaizen. Continuous improvement, not overhaul, not a 30-day challenge, just deliberate refinement. A Zen master was once asked how he maintained his practice for 60 years. He said, "I don't maintain it, it maintains me." That's the difference. Forcing a routine drains you. Discovering your rhythm sustains you. The I Ching says, difficulty at the beginning brings supreme success. The first few weeks will be weird. You'll fall back into old patterns. You'll force things. You'll doubt yourself. Good. That means the system is working. It means you're becoming conscious. And now, you can catch yourself, realign, and continue. Because you were never lazy. You were misaligned. That ambitious but lazy contradiction? That's not a bug. That's your system screaming. There is a better way. You always knew something was wrong with conventional productivity. Now you know what and why. The choice is simple, not easy, but simple. Keep fighting yourself forever, or finally start working with yourself. Guoshin isn't about becoming someone new. It's about expressing who you've always been, just more precisely. Samurai didn't train to become warriors. They trained to embody their warrior nature with flawless execution. You're not here to become productive. You're here to express your nature with surgical precision. Your resistance was never the enemy. It was the messenger. It was your inner compass, rejecting systems that weren't built for you. Now you have a system built from ancient wisdom, designed for your design. So stop thinking, stop debating, stop waiting, use it.